There's something timeless and comforting about a hearty chicken stew, simmering gently on the stove, filling the kitchen with a savory aroma that promises warmth and nourishment. Chicken stew has been a staple in households across the world for generations, with every family adding its own unique twist, reflecting local flavors and cherished traditions. Today, we'll walk through a delicious chicken stew recipe that balances rustic simplicity with a depth of flavor, creating a meal that's both satisfying and easy to prepare. Whether you're cooking for family or friends, or simply treating yourself to a cozy homemade dinner, let's begin with the foundation: choosing the right chicken. While it's possible to make a good stew with boneless, skinless chicken breasts, the best stews often start with bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs or drumsticks. The bones and skin contribute rich flavor and body to the broth, ensuring a stew that's deeply savory and full-bodied. If you prefer a leaner option, you can always skim off excess fat later, but don't underestimate the magic that bones and skin bring to the table. Before you start cooking, gather your ingredients. You'll need about 2 pounds of chicken thighs or drumsticks, a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, a large onion, several cloves of garlic, 2 or 3 carrots, a few stalks of celery, a couple of potatoes, and a handful of fresh herbs. For added flavor, consider including a bay leaf, fresh thyme, and a sprig of rosemary, a can of diced tomatoes, some chicken broth, and a spoonful of tomato paste will round out the flavors, while salt, pepper, and perhaps a dash of smoked paprika or cayenne will add complexity and warmth. Start by prepping your vegetables. Dice the onion, mince the garlic, slice the carrots and celery into bite-sized pieces, and peel and cube the potatoes. Pat the chicken pieces dry with paper towels and season them generously with salt and pepper. This simple step helps the skin crisp and the meat develop a golden, flavorful crust. In a large, heavy-bottomed pot or Dutch oven, heat the olive oil over medium-high heat. When the oil shimmers, add the chicken pieces skin side down, working in batches if necessary to avoid overcrowding. Let the chicken brown undisturbed for several minutes on each side until the skin is golden and some of the fat has rendered out. This browning process is crucial for building the stew's deep flavor base. Don't rush it. Once browned, transfer the chicken to a plate and set aside. With the chicken removed, turn the heat down slightly and add the onion to the pot. The onion will begin to soften and pick up the delicious browned bits left behind by the chicken. After a few minutes, stir in the garlic, letting it cook just until fragrant. Next, add the carrots and celery, sautéing them for 5 to 7 minutes until they start to soften and their natural sweetness is coaxed out. Now it's time to build the stew's body and flavor. Stir in the tomato paste and cook it for a minute or two, letting it caramelize slightly. Pour in the diced tomatoes with their juices, scraping the bottom of the pot to lift any additional browned bits. Add the potatoes and nestle the browned chicken pieces back into the pot, along with any accumulated juices. Pour in enough chicken broth to just cover the ingredients, then tuck in the bay leaf, thyme, and rosemary. If you like a little heat, sprinkle in a pinch of cayenne or smoked paprika. Bring the mixture to a gentle simmer, then reduce the heat to low, cover the pot, and let the stew cook for about 45 minutes to an hour. As it simmers, the flavors will meld. The chicken will become tender and almost fall off the bone, and the vegetables will soften, soaking up the savory broth. While the stew simmers, you can prepare any accompaniments you like. A crusty loaf of bread is perfect for dunking into the rich broth, or you might serve the stew over a bed of steamed rice or with a side of buttered noodles. If you prefer a lighter meal, a simple green salad dressed with a tangy vinaigrette makes a refreshing contrast to the warm, hearty stew. After the stew has simmered and filled your kitchen with its mouth-watering aroma, check the seasoning, adjusting salt and pepper to taste. If you like, finish the stew with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice or a sprinkle of chopped fresh parsley for brightness. Remove the bay leaf and herb stems and, if desired, skim off any excess fat from the surface of the broth. Now it's time to serve. Ladle generous portions of the stew into bowls, ensuring each serving has a good balance of tender chicken, hearty vegetables, and savory broth. The chicken will be meltingly tender, the potatoes and carrots soft but not mushy, and the broth rich with the essence of herbs and slow-simmered chicken. Take a moment to savor the aroma before digging in. The scent of simmered garlic, herbs, and chicken is as comforting as the first spoonful. What makes this chicken stew so special is its adaptability. You can easily tailor it to your preferences or to whatever you have on hand. Try adding other root vegetables such as parsnips or turnips for an earthy sweetness, or stir in frozen peas or chopped kale. During the last few minutes of cooking for a pop of color and nutrition. If you like a thicker stew, mash a few of the potatoes against the side of the pot and stir them in, or add a slurry of flour and water to the broth. For those who enjoy a touch of sweetness, a handful of corn kernels or a diced sweet potato can bring a new dimension to the stew. For extra depth, deglaze the pot with a splash of white wine after sautéing the vegetables, letting it reduce before adding the tomatoes and broth. The beauty of this chicken stew lies not only in its flavors, but in the comfort it brings. It's the kind of meal that invites people to gather around the table, to share stories and laughter, and to savor the simple joys of home-cooked food. It's nourishing and satisfying, perfect for chilly days or whenever you crave a taste of home. Leftovers, if you have any, are even better the next day. The flavors continue to meld and the stew becomes richer and more complex. Simply reheat gently on the stove, adding a splash of broth or water if it's thickened too much overnight. It also freezes beautifully, making it an excellent meal to prepare in advance for busy weeks. For a final flourish, consider serving your chicken stew with a dollop of tangy sour cream or Greek yogurt, or a sprinkle of grated Parmesan cheese. A drizzle of good olive oil or a scattering of chopped fresh herbs can also elevate the dish, adding freshness and color. This chicken stew is more than just a recipe. It's an invitation to slow down and savor the moment. From the first sizzle of chicken hitting the hot pan to the last spoonful of savory broth, every step is a reminder of the care and warmth that goes into a home-cooked meal. Whether you're making it for a crowd or just for yourself, this stew is sure to become a favorite, a dish you'll return to again and again whenever you crave something delicious, comforting, and made with love. So the next time you find yourself in need of a meal that feeds both body and soul, remember this classic chicken stew. With a few simple ingredients and a bit of patience, you can create a dish that's brimming with flavor, warmth, and the timeless comforts of home cooking.